Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. So today we've got something really different and really special. I'm going to be joined by the amazing Holly. I'm going to see if I can invite her first or she can request. Okay, I don't even know how to do that. I'm going to wait until she joins. Holly, when you do, put a comment and there we go. Bring them on camera. I can do it straight away. We go. So as you're going to see, I'm being joined by Hollie Ellis today, who is an amazing client of mine, and I'll let her introduce herself in just a second. Saying adding, let's hope. I know I'm going to adjust myself. There you are.
Hello.
Let's make sure I'm adjusted. There we go. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Erin. Hi, Karen. Hi, everyone. As you join. Awesome. Okay, so today a little bit different. I want to share one of my amazing clients, Hollie, who's one of Hi, Dora. I want to share her story with you, or get her to share her journey this year, which I think many of you are going to be inspired by. Because I don't think actually I do this enough, to be honest. I don't think I share my client stories and stuff enough. And I really felt called to share Hollie's. We've just finished working together for about 6 months. We haven't finished yet, have we? We've still got 2 one-on-one calls. So yep. Technically, we're not even finished yet. But it's been so amazing. Hollie is literally like an ideal client for me. Like, you know, all my clients are amazing, but she's great. She's on it, and she's just so lovely. And I'm sure you're going to fall in love with her as much as I have. So, firstly, Hollie, do you want to just introduce yourself and just tell people a little bit about what you do?
Yeah. So, hi everyone. I'm Hollie. My business is Hollie Ellis Design, and I'm a freelance graphic designer. So I specialise in logo design, branding and print design, and I mainly work with business women as well, and I just help them create more powerful, distinctive and recognisable brands for their businesses.
Amazing, awesome. So, by the way, I didn't say this at the beginning, as you join live on the replay, let us know if you're watching, say replay if it's on the replay, and do say hello. And obviously if you had, I'll say some bits to kind of interact with you guys as well, but if you've got any questions for either me or Hollie throughout our, what should I call it? I was going to say talk today.
Chat.
Not an interview, like talk. Conversation, then feel free to just drop those in and we'll look at those as well at the end. So I'm really, really excited. So I think the best place to start is at the beginning, right? So can you tell us a little bit about kind of where you were? I think it was about February time, wasn't it, that we spoke and stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of what your life looked like, your mindset, your business at that point?
Well, in all honesty, in February, I was kind of second guessing everything. Like, I just wasn't sure what really was going on. So at the start of the year, I put my prices up, and I was getting really frustrated because a lot of people that were coming to me inquiring about design work were saying I was either too expensive or they couldn't afford me. So I was like sitting there going, what have I done? Have I done something wrong? Should I put my prices back down again? Or do I leave them? Or do I bring them down a little bit? And then so last year I only had 1 day off last year, and I took some time off over Christmas as well, but I realised things needed to change, which is why I put my prices up, because I thought if I could put my prices up, then I would be working a lot less than what I was working. But then when everybody just kept saying I was too expensive or they couldn't afford me, I was sitting there not knowing what to do at all, because obviously I've got bills to pay just like everybody else. So I was a bit stuck, basically.
Yeah. And just give some context. Like, you've been in business for 3 years before that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And how have those 3 years been? How would you describe them?
I would say they were good to begin with. I would say that I built up a name for myself in the Northeast as a really good graphic designer. So that was good, but I felt as though because of being in the Northeast, there seems to be a mindset of you have to have your prices tailored just for the Northeast. And that was something, yeah. So that was something that I needed to deal with. I hadn't done any real marketing as such. I hadn't done any paid advertising or anything like that. All I was getting was referrals from Facebook groups. But I was working all hours, so I had it where I was kind of working, if I was really, really busy, I was working from 6 in the morning until about 10, 11 at night just to get through the design work that I had, which is why I never had any time off.
Yeah. Well, you said, didn't you, that when we had our first discovery call, like you said that you only had like 1 day off the year before.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
For my birthday.
Yeah, it's crazy. Did you work on Christmas Day then as well?
No, I had that off. Yeah.
All right, 2 days then.
Yeah.
Whole 2 days now, Hollie. Like.
Yeah.
but that's crazy, right, everyone? Like, so in a place of like, well, hustle, right? Like working all the hours, putting in all the work, but not really getting rewarded, and then kind of having other people say to you, and this is obviously a limiting belief on their part that you're too expensive, right? So you went to that point at the beginning. Was it January you put your prices up?
Yeah, so it was January this year, put my prices up.
Yeah. And then like what's getting reflected back at you is basically like you're too expensive, and you're like, I should have put my prices up. So tell me about at that point then, what kind of drew you to kind of work with me, join the mastermind, like what was the process? And also, you know, obviously I want to know about your fears and stuff that kind of came up for you, and like, because obviously it's a big investment, right?
Yeah. Well, I think I'd been following you on Instagram for a while, and then I joined your Facebook group. But it was when you did the 5-day challenge that was something that really stood out for me, because I took action every single day, and I found it made such a difference that I just knew that working with you would help me even more. Yeah. And I also find that up here as well, where I am, I wouldn't say there's very many ambitious business women.
Yeah.
So it's quite difficult for me to surround myself with other business women who have the same ambitions, who really want to go far with their business. And I wasn't really surrounding myself with anyone like that at all. So there was a lack of support as well, which is what I needed. So
yeah, and that's a massive thing, right? So everyone here like knows this is what I talk about. It's like it's who you surround yourself with. So if you're around people and they're saying to you, "You're too expensive," or this and that, then you're going to think you're too expensive, and then you're going to put that out, and then you're going to get it back, and then no one's going to buy it, and it's just this cycle that needs to end. And the only way I think to end is to break the pattern and to get around people that are like, no, like you're not too expensive. Actually, you're too cheap. It's the market you're aiming at, it's the people you're aiming at, it's their mindset, right? And obviously, we did so much money mindset work and stuff, which we can speak about in a minute. So when you thought about joining, and also you did the mastermind online course thing, didn't you? You did that first. I remember you did that, and then you did this. And then with when you thought about joining, then what kind of came up for you as far as like any kind of fears or worries, or like was there anything like that kind of put you off joining? Hi, Nikki.
I think the only thing that put me off joining was making sure that I got a return on the investment, because to me that it was quite a fair amount of money to invest. And I wanted to make sure that I got a return on that investment. So that was one of my fears. And I kind of did think, am I going to make that money back? Because obviously you want to, that's the aim, and then some. I think that was probably the biggest fear that I had. And then I would say one of the other ones was just coming down for like the in-person mastermind event as well, because I've never really travelled on my own before. So.
Oh, right, you didn't mention that.
Yeah, no, I've never. No, because of the way I was brought up with my mum and dad, and because I've been brought up in a really small market town as well.
Yeah.
I very rarely even went into Newcastle.
Yeah.
Which is the main city here. So yeah.
Oh wow, you mentioned that. That's interesting, because you didn't go to the first one, but you went to the second one.
Yeah.
And do you think that's because of shifts and stuff in your mindset?
I think so, yeah. I think because the first one, I think it was quite last minute as to when we got the dates as to when we were going to do it. And it, in terms of prices to get down there and things like that, it was working out was really quite expensive. Plus, again, I'd never gone on a train on my own. Yeah. So things like that, I was a bit like, oh no, I don't think I can do this. Whereas the second one, it was outside of London, so it was more feasible for me, because I thought, I can totally drive, because I'm so much confident just driving on my own because I've done it before. So I just thought, well, I can drive to that one.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. Oh, cool. So okay. Obviously, you joined, and just tell us a little bit about, like, in those first 3 months. We talk about, obviously you continued on again. Some of the shifts and the changes that started happening with you within that first period.
I think we mainly worked on mindset for me.
Yeah, mindset.
Yeah, especially when I was getting, because all the inquiries that I was getting through, before putting my prices up, the inquiries that I would get through, I would convert maybe about, well, either 90% or 100% into clients. So because that wasn't happening, it was definitely a mindset thing for me. So we worked on like my money mindset, and then kind of looked at my pricing, my offering, that kind of thing, looked at building up my Facebook group that I've got. So it all kind of really helped me move forward.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And we're supposed to speak about, obviously, more of the results and stuff and things that have happened since. But like, then obviously you decided to do another 3 months. What was your kind of big reason to do another 3 months after those 3 months?
I think it was because at the end of the first 3 months, I had achieved a lot, I think. Yeah. And I didn't think I had, but actually I'd taken action on loads of different things. But I felt as though there was still more that I could do. Like, I felt as though I'd only just started. Yeah. And I felt as though, like, there was so much more that I could be doing, and there was so much more that I wanted your help with as well. And I just thought, actually, I really want to carry on, because I think I would be in a so much better position if I did carry on and do another 3 months, and kind of improve where I was then, because I was starting to see results straight away. And I thought, actually, I want to keep going and keep pushing. Yeah. And it was really making me take action as well. So I think I said at the end of the first 3 months that I'd taken so much action with my business within 3 months than what I'd ever done in a whole year, like the previous year. So it made a big difference. Yeah, exactly. And that accountability. And I also think, 6 months, I think, is an optimal time. This is the thing, I'm actually considering just having the mastermind for six months rather than 3. You can get a lot done in 3. But ideally, you can make massive changes. 6 months is ideal. Half a year, you can make huge shifts and stuff. And most of my clients are repeat clients as well. Most people come back and they do more. And I think that's part of the thing. If you see something in a few months, it makes you really invested in continuing. So, well, I wrote down some things because I'm like, what do I want to ask you? There's so many things I want to ask you. So, what is it now then? Let's talk a little bit about then, like, after 6 months, we still have 2 one-on-one calls. Where are you now? So as far as, like, if you just break it down, because you could literally list out so much right now, couldn't you? So we just break it down into sections of kind of before to after. So if we just start with your mindset, because that's a really important one. As far as the mindset shifts, like from where you were before to where you feel like you are now. Well, I would say I'm much more confident in the prices that I'm charging, to the point where I've put my prices up again. Mm-hmm. And I think at the start of the year, I doubled my prices. Yeah. Whereas this time round, because of what we did around money mindset and looking at like the energetic income levels and things like that, I've kind of put the prices to where it feels really good for me. Yeah. So the prices have gone up again. And then just mindset in general, I'm a lot more confident. And then I think I did have moments in terms of mindset. And I remember speaking to you about this, kind of thinking, well, like, why should someone listen to me? And then we kind of worked on that a bit more as well. So that's definitely helped. And I just think I'm just much more confident, much more clear as well.
Yeah. And as far as your business, in the last 6 months, where it was there to where it is now?
Business is amazing. So I think it's been a really big shift with the business, because at the start of the year I was operating on lower prices than what I am now, and I felt as though all those people that were coming to me and saying I was too expensive or they couldn't afford me, they weren't actually the right clients for me. So within, obviously, the mastermind, you get part of the membership and the training. So I did some work on my who my dream customer is, and did some really in-depth work on that, and I got really clear on who that is, and that's made a massive difference, because I know the type of person that I want to work with now, and I know that all my content should be tailored around targeting them. So that's made a massive like a really big shift, and then over the mastermind completely, I've gained loads more new clients as well, and the types of clients that I want to be working with. And I had major cash flow problems as well. So we worked on that, and now I don't have any cash flow problems at all.
Yeah.
So that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And going into finances, obviously you don't have to say the numbers and stuff, because I think it's all about where you came from to where you are now. But tell us about like the difference in that. Like, obviously I know some things you said recently, so it's up to you what you want to share. But like from kind of where you were at the beginning to now, like the shifts in like the income and the income patterns.
Yeah, so having done the mastermind, I have had my highest earning month to date for being in business. And when I looked at my financials the other day, I've worked out that because I work based on financial year, so April to April, so I've worked out that the profit that I made last financial year for the whole year, I've already made in the first 6 months of this financial year already.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So I'm really pleased. I know.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. It's great.
Yeah, that is amazing. And that's the thing. And you know, and like you know, these things are still happening and shifting. But to make that amount, like you say, in a small amount of time. And at the beginning, like those first few months, it was a lot of the unearthing work, right? It was redefining your ideal client. It was sorting out all of the mindset stuff. It was all that first few. So it's really, you know, probably the last 4 months, you know, or so that we've been able to, like, you know, change that. And you've been able to do that in such a small amount of time, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Really, really amazing. Really amazing. And then as far as other things in your business, you've got like a whole new brand now, right? Your website's done.
Yeah. So that was another thing. So when I did the work on who my dream client is, I realized that actually my branding wasn't up to scratch at all. So I decided to completely rebrand. So I created a new logo for myself, changed all my brand colors as well. I overhauled my whole website, got clear on like a core offering as well, because I had like 3 different offers, which was around like branding packages, but then I also do the print design for small jobs as well. But we got clear on like a really core offering. And then I overhauled kind of, I didn't have a lead magnet or anything like that either. So created one of those, got an email nurture series hooked up to that. I created my Facebook group as an opt-in as well. So got an email nurture series all sorted for that as well. And then I've kind of looked at Facebook adverts. I've got an Instagram story advert out at the moment as well. So just big, massive shifts all round.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing. And like, what about, and I haven't asked you this question before, but in far as like how anything has affected your relationships, so maybe relationships with other people, or friendships or anything like that, how has that changed much? Has there been many shifts there in the last few months?
Yeah, I would say so, because of the other ladies that are in the mastermind, you're being supported by them, but you're also on completely the same level as them as well. So, and I don't have that here. So, like there's always that saying of surround yourself with like-minded people who have similar goals to you, or who surround yourself with people who have been there and done that, because then you're getting the advice from them and you're aspiring to be like them as well. And that's really helped me, because again, I don't have that here in the Northeast, and I think it is quite difficult being in the Northeast at times with such an ambitious like goal and mindset to do well. Whereas being part of the mastermind, because the ladies are in there and obviously you're in there as well, it really, really helps. Like the support you get has been amazing. And the last mastermind was it was absolutely brilliant. I think because there was less of us in the group, it was more tight knit, if that makes sense.
Did you prefer that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I also found they were closer to my age as well. So I think that actually made a bit of a difference too.
Yeah, you were around the same age.
Yeah,
it's funny actually.
We're all similar.
Just mentioning that. So, because it being August, what we found is we had a smaller group the last round, and the women who did it didn't have kids. during August, which, you know, because the main reason a lot of women did sign up for August period was because of summer holidays and all of that, which I kind of predicted would happen. But I was happy to try, and I really enjoyed like the smaller group as well. So, which is good, and kind of how I'm seeing things now. I've got the academy, and I've got this. I can have the bigger group for the academy, and this can be even smaller. You know, it's all about who it is. So yeah, it's interesting that you point that out. Yeah. Yeah.
I just think it's made a big difference because we got on so well with each other as well. And then obviously we did the in-person event as well. And we actually all then had dinner together that evening as well. So it was really, really nice. And I feel as though we're going to continue to keep in touch with each other and everything like that, which is, I think, is just amazing.
Exactly. That's what it's all about, is having those relationships. And did you find that doing the in-person thing really enhanced the whole experience and the relationships and stuff as well?
Yeah, I think, because I think obviously doing the calls every other week, where it was like the group calls, I think that was really good because we got to know each other, and obviously we're masterminding with each other. So you kind of know each other already, and then when you meet in person, you feel like you already know them. Yeah. So it's not awkward or anything like that. It's just really good fun.
Yeah, and it is weird when you meet in person. It's suddenly like, oh, I already know you. Like, like it feels like you have. I remember like with Courtney, because I've been coaching Courtney since like the whole year and a bit last year. I was just like, it doesn't feel like this is the first time we're meeting. I have met you before as well, because obviously we met at Facebook. So yeah.
It was really nice.
So what would you say, like kind of overall, what would you say the biggest things were that you got out of it?
I would say the mindset shifts. The fact that I've been able to rebrand my whole business and overhaul it all, and create like a really solid plan for the future as well, because that was something I was aware of, is I was just flying by, and because I haven't needed to do any marketing up until kind of the start of the year, like I didn't actually have a real plan of where I was going or what I wanted to do. Or even how to get there, whereas I know how to do that now. And then kind of just making like a financial increase in my business as well. That's been really good. I've increased my visibility online too, so it's quite a lot.
And has your confidence gone up in like your ability to make money, to up your prices, and people come like? Where's your belief around that now compared to like where it was?
Oh, I think it's changed completely, because I think at the start of the year where I was really doubting myself, and I just thought, should I put the prices back down? Should I keep them where they are? And I was asking people for advice, and I didn't feel like the advice that I was getting was actually quite right. And you were the only person actually. Yeah, you were the only person that actually gave me probably the advice that I was wanting to hear and looking for, whereas I wasn't getting that from anyone else at all. Whereas now I think because my prices are where I would like them to be, and it's attracting the kind of clients that I really want to work with, who are serious about kind of creating really nice, distinctive designs and a brand for their business as well, then it's made a massive difference, because I think it's kind of like the domino effect, because then it means I get to work with people that I enjoy working with as well, which makes, again, a massive difference. Exactly. So there's been some huge shifts, definitely.
Yeah. And for anyone watching this, like, that's the whole bit. If you're working like pretty much from 6 till 10 and only having Christmas and your birthday off, and not really feeling like you're making any profit, like you're really reaping the rewards of that, then you're charging completely the wrong pricing and probably to the wrong people. Like, it's a massive, obviously, sign. Obviously, that's quite extreme, But and that's the thing, the extreme of that to now. And I see you now taking a lot more time off, like going away weekends and doing all these things, So, also with your life, like, how do you feel that's kind of affected your life just generally then as well? Obviously your business and your life kind of interlink. So how has it affected that? I know we've created like a future vision, haven't we, for 3 years time and those things, like, and you're working on your kitchen renovation now. So how has it like affected your actual life, would you say?
Oh, I would say it's affected it massively. I feel like, I just feel like a different person, like a new person. It's quite hard to describe, but it's definitely made like a big impression on me from where I was to where I am now. I think I'm much more confident. I think I'm confident in myself and in my skills more, because obviously I was a bit like, well, why would somebody listen to me? But actually, it's that whole mindset thing again, because I just thought, well, you've been doing this a while, so people kind of should be listening to what you're saying. But like life in general, like we're able to do things that we didn't think were possible to do for a good few years. Like what you've said, the kitchen renovation. Obviously, my dream is to have a house in the country, so we've been working on that. And obviously, the in-person mastermind event really helped with that as well, because obviously we got clear on where we wanted to be in 3 years, and then work backwards, which we all found, I think, at that mastermind event, we all said that it's really difficult for us to look at things that we need to do now, whereas in the future it was so much easier to see where you wanted to be like 3 years down the line. But in a month's time, we were a bit like, what? So that really helped as well.
Yeah, we did something where we were connecting, your big vision to basically all the way back down to the activities that you need to do now, like literally start on that week. And I think that's the problem with a lot of entrepreneurs, is we're visionary. It's very easy for us to know where we want to go and all that, but the fine details and breaking that down can be really, really hard. But if we can keep connecting to that big vision and then breaking it down and do that, it makes it so much easier. I saw your testimonial after the first mastermind, Hollie, and you come across as much more confident. I think you say now you had something much more visible now, like before you were like, now you show up every day on Instagram and you're doing videos, and you're being seen and recognized again. Hollie was actually the only client that I had as well, but you were recognized by Facebook too for your contribution to groups. So your group is obviously engaged and doing really well as well, and again, I'm down to like your action, right, and you're actually doing it. So there was a question actually I wrote down that I haven't asked you before, so I'm going to put you on the spot. I haven't asked you any questions, but something you might not have thought I was going to ask you, but I want to ask you this one. So if you could go back to the start of your business, or the first year, right, knowing what you know now, would you change anything? And if you did, what would that be?
Oh, yeah, I would totally change everything that I did.
Good advice for people, like...
Because at the start, so basically at the very start, I had just quit working at a packaging company because I was being bullied, and I was in my late 20s, and I just thought, I don't think anybody of any age should be bullied, and I wasn't going to stand for it. So I decided to just start freelancing again from there. And because I classed myself as a startup, I had prices that appealed to startup businesses, and all I did was I pretty much had all my eggs in one basket and really kind of networked online within one Facebook group, and I didn't do any kind of marketing at all other than on my Facebook page, but not any real kind of structured marketing. And all I did was networking in the Facebook group, and that's where the majority of my business came from. So I think if I were to go back, I would totally I would take the time to work on everything. So everything that you would need to get set up properly with your business, rather than, I think I just jumped into it with no plans or real structure at all. I just knew that I'd quit my job and I needed to pay the bills, so I needed to bring the work in. Whereas if I'd had more time, then I would have totally worked on the structure of everything. Like what I've got now, I would have done that back then.
Yeah. Imagine where you'd be, but that's all part of it though, isn't it? That's the whole thing, you live and learn. And the good thing is though, that at least you made a commitment, right? You actually quit your job and you went all in and you did it, But I think probably doing it that way got you stuck in certain patterns and certain expectations of what you could get. And, do you know what I mean? So that kind of over years, that's kind of what ended up becoming a bit like your belief system, and why you just carried on charging that, and because it just became normal, right? So,
I think if I could go back again as well, I totally would work with you sooner too.
Oh, thank you. Cool. Well, on that note then, and I'm going to ask you this question because everyone asks this question. But because again, people watching this, and there's people like where you were a few years ago, or where you were at the beginning of the year, and people that are on that fence are thinking, oh, should I do this? Should I get mentorship? Should I join a mastermind? Should I, but I'm kind of scared. And normally the top things that I hear time and time again, oh, it's so expensive, or I can't afford it, and we all know that's a mindset thing, or the time it's going to take. They're the things that typically the only things I ever hear, like, is reasons people don't want to do it. But for people that are in that position where they're on the fence and they're like considering it, and they're at, kind of where you were before, what would your advice be to them?
I would say definitely consider it. So whether you're on the fence or you're just not sure whether you can afford it or not, or like you weren't sure whether you would get return on your investment, I would say definitely do it. I would work out ways to see whether you can afford it. But I would definitely do it, because you achieve so much with the accountability and with the help from Kirsty, with the help from the other ladies within the mastermind as well. And I think, like I've said before, I wouldn't have achieved so much that I have done in the last few months if I hadn't have signed up to the mastermind. And obviously it's made a difference to my financials for the business as well. So I would say definitely consider it. I would highly recommend it to everybody, because it to me it's made a massive difference. So I would definitely recommend looking at it and seeing if it's possible.
What's interesting, and she's on here right now, I won't mention her name, but somebody who I was talking about who's considering joining the mastermind now, and she heard me on Janet Murray's podcast and felt that she probably isn't my ideal client, because my ideal clients have access to more money, to be able to afford my coaching. And I was like, no, that really isn't true. Most of my ideal clients, most people I work with, they don't just have this magic pot of money sitting there. No. Just like I didn't. They make it happen because they decide that I have to. What else is going to happen? I really want this. I believe in it, and then they find a way, right? And they make it happen, and from that they get the results. So it's interesting that people think that. Like, honestly, guys, that isn't true. Like, most people, myself included, like, nothing happens. Like, you're never ready. You never have this magic pot of money or any of this stuff. You have to work on it first, and then it happens, right? Which is, which is what you did as well. You didn't really have the money when you started out. Obviously, you just said, like, you had cash flow plans, you're working and it's like, oh my God, like, when I heard that, like, my heart broke. I was like, oh my God, Hollie, like, we have to work together. I have to help you. Not only have 1 or 2 days off a year, like, that's not okay. And how much you're charging, I was like, this is going to be really easy. Like, once you're in your mindset to match what you can do, like, there's, like, that's it. You're going to keep going up, But obviously we had to do that because the whole thing, and where it is for most of us, is our mindset. We don't believe people are going to pay that. We don't believe something about ourselves, and that just does it, And if you don't mind me sharing, sharing. Because there was even like a period, wasn't there, between the 3 months, like you were doing really well, and then before the mastermind started, where you went back into the old habits again, right?
Yeah,
you went back into some of the old habits, and I was like, why did you do that? And you were doing these massive extended payment plans. I'm like, oh my God, why are you doing that, honey? And you were like, oh no. And I was like, did you do this? And you were like, no. And I was like, did you do the other thing that I mentioned? No. And some of these habits, they're so core and endurance, it just takes a bit longer just to ingrain them. But I really feel confident now that they are really, like, they're part of you now. Like, they're there, like, that you're going to go on and continue this and be able to see some of the patterns and stuff like that, it doesn't mean that, like, 3 months or something, like, actually now I get to my next level, or, because, I am constantly invested in mentorship, most people do, that, you're not going to have a next level and a next level, but I feel like they're there enough for you to never go back to where you were, Do you feel that?
Yeah, because I know, obviously, I totally know what you're talking about, because, like, when you said, well, why did you do that, I was a bit like, I don't actually know. And I think at the time I didn't realise that I'd gone and done it. I just had done it. And then you were like, Hollie, why did you do that? And I was going, I don't actually know. And it was when you questioned me, because nobody else would have questioned me. But it's when you questioned me, I was a bit like, why did I do that? And I thought, and then when you made me realise what I'd gone and done, I just thought, why did I do that? It opened my eyes up to it. So obviously I changed it to stop that from happening again.
I'm sure you changed it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing. That's the good thing about having any coach or mentor. The people will ask you questions that other people just wouldn't ask you. They're like too afraid to ask, or they don't know you well enough, they don't feel it's their place, or their mindset's in a completely different place anyway. So if it's like, I won't obviously mention things, but like, if you go around somebody who's got a limited mindset or has a mindset about something else, the advice they're going to give you is based on their mindset and what they think and believe, and it's the complete wrong mindset for getting to where you want to get, because unless that person is the person, do you know what I mean? Unless they've done the things, they only know what they know, and it's nothing against them, there's nothing wrong with them, but asking for advice from the wrong people is the wrong thing to do, because it's just going to keep you there, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that is pretty much what happened to me. Like, the advice that I was getting, it was like you were saying, it was kind of very limited and not very ambitious, whereas I was a bit like, but I want to do this. And they were kind of saying, yeah, but you need to look at it from this point of view. And like what I was hearing, I was a bit like, well, I disagree with that. But it was because I just didn't know how to get to where I wanted to be. And then obviously that's why I signed up.
Exactly. And that is why mindset, like state as well, your energy and strategy are also important, aren't they? Like, because you need to connect to it, you need to have your mindset in the right place, and it has to be backed up by strategy. We can't just pretend that like, oh, we'll just change our mindset and everything will flow. Like, there's got to be a strategy to back it up, which is, you know, the work that you've done, like to implement the structures and stuff. Otherwise, you know, how are you going to bring people in? And you can law of attract or whatever, or change your mindset and see a few changes for sure, but you know, you've got to have some type of thing that's going to support you long term coming in, right, and make those changes. So well, you've been like a dream client to work with, Hollie. Obviously, you haven't completely finished. You know, I don't think our journey's like over and stuff, but you know, you've been amazing. And obviously, it's because you actually implemented it when you did it. You're really coachable, and you know, like you say, you're open to being coached and actually going out there and taking the action. And if you don't go out there and take the action and do things, then none of this would have happened, you know. So it's down to you and the action that you've taken, you know. And lastly, then, let us know, how can people find you? So who is your ideal client now? Tell us who your ideal client is, where they're at, and how can they find you if they want to have some amazing branding.
Fab. So I would say my ideal client is, so I mainly work with business women, and that is my ideal client is an amazing business lady who either needs to rebrand their business, so needs a new logo, a brand strategy, competitor analysis, they need the new logo put onto other designs like business cards, social banners, social media graphics, that kind of thing. Or it's a business lady who already has those things, but she wants to work with a designer who can be there as basically as part of the business and really help you kind of create momentum within your business. So if you're doing regular blogs, podcasts, that kind of thing, or doing online courses or anything like that, and you need workbooks designing, but they need to look professional, then that's the kind of businesswoman that I would love to work with.
Yeah, basically, if you're looking for branding, in short.
Yeah. I know that was.
If you're looking for like a new brand, and not, you know, something that's really going to represent you, and work with someone who, you know, is just lovely to work with. Like, you know, you're organised. You know, you're really, you know, I know it's like with creatives, this whole thing of creatives being like, oh, all over the place and stuff. But you're like one, like my husband as well. There's those creatives that's still really good at, you know, like structuring themselves and stuff like that. So yeah, and then we'll share the link to your Facebook group. So people want to let you, tell us a little bit about your Facebook group as well.
So my Facebook group, it's for business women only, and it's for anybody who's looking to take their brand to the next level. So I come into the group once a month and I do a brand focus on specific areas to do with branding, and I kind of do like a half an hour little masterclass on that area of branding, just to make you think a bit more about your branding, because there's a lot of business women out there who think that their brand is just their logo, but actually it's so much more than that. So you get access to all these exclusive videos, and you can join me live, and I'm going to be running challenges in the future as well. And any questions that you want to ask me about branding at all, then I'm there to answer them in the group.
Awesome. And I'll share the link. And then lastly, I'll just leave it with like, if you're obviously looking to join the mastermind, if you're thinking about it, our doors are open just this week only, before they close again. And it's the last time you can get it at this price. The price is going up. And if I listen to my own coach, they're going to be going up by quite a bit. So it's the last time. If you want to work with me one-on-one or in the mastermind, like you've heard Hollie's experience, then just type in mastermind below and I'll send you details. It's invitation application only. I'm not going to be doing some big launch for this. It's invitation application only. So just you know, contact me and I'll send you the details. Sounds great, Hollie. Well done. And then we can get on a call. And also, just I'll mention, I'll do a separate thing about this. We now have a date also for the Mastermind Day, which is going to be the 15th of December, which is great to get that actual real in-person experience, and we're going to be doing similar things to what Hollie was talking about with the big vision, bring it down, but we're going to be doing lots of other stuff, and I won't put all that into this video right now, but it's going to be exciting. And I've just paid the deposit for it, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really, really good in Kingston on the 15th. So if you've seen there's a poll for that, vote for that, and you'll be the first one to get it. And if you get that in the first week or two, you'll get it on the early bird as well. So just want to make sure you all know about that, and also about the mastermind as well. So anything else you want to leave us with, Hollie, before we finish?
I can't think of anything. I just want to thank you, really, because you've helped me so much and you've been absolutely amazing. So I just want to thank you, really, for helping me, because I wouldn't be where I am now without you. So
thank you, Hollie.
Is that right?
You were so sweet as well. It's like, oh no, after our last mastermind call last Thursday, suddenly I left my phone for a bit because I was tired. I looked at it, it was like notification, like Hollie's mentioned you on LinkedIn, Hollie's given you a recommendation on LinkedIn, Hollie's tagged you in her story, Hollie's put you in a I was like, wow. I was like, John, I was like, people are probably thinking I'm paying her to do this.
No, it had to be done.
Yeah, no, it's nice, and that's the thing, isn't it? Like when you have a good experience, you want to talk about it, right? You want to share it and stuff. So thank you for taking the time and stuff, and sharing your experience and stuff. And like I said, I highly recommend Hollie. She's an amazing person. She's a great designer. I love her. I love your new brand now. I love seeing it. Like it looks amazing. So obviously, if you want to just hang out with this amazing person in her group, learn more, or get a brand, go and join her group as well. It's me and her are the only people here that we've been recognised by Facebook. So they're great groups. So it's another great group to be part of. Especially, I know so many of you here are looking for support. Your entrepreneurs looking for support. So highly recommend another awesome group to join. So thank you so much, Hollie.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anyone who has any questions or anything, if you're interested in Mastermind, comment on there. Or if you've got any questions for Hollie, feel free to put them here as well. And I'll be sharing the link so you can go and join Hollie's group and learn more about Hollie as well.
Yay.
Thank you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, definitely.
See you later, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.